Okay, so in the previous video, I talked about the Neck Boys and how they did this fluff interview with Bibi Netanyahu, and there's a lot to unpack with that, and then there's a lot to unpack with the subsequent interview that these idiots did with the great guy Bassem Youssef. So they partially redeemed themselves, but not completely. You need to do a lot more work to make things right. But anyway, so I said in that video, the previous video, that we are going to analyze a few things here and there. These are very long interviews, so we'll just take them piece by piece. So Bibi Netanyahu is he talks about Trump, and he is basically stroking his dick throughout this entire interview. But he really just lays it on thick in the beginning, and I want to analyze why, because that's really important. Because the fact of the matter is that Bibi Netanyahu does not really like Trump at all. In fact, he hates him. Uh, Trump shared a video made by Jeffrey Sachs, where Jeffrey Sachs, who is a Jew, by the way, calls Bibi Netanyahu a son of a bitch. So Trump shared that on Truth Social. So you have to wonder, why is Bibi Netanyahu sucking Trump's dick so much? Now, before we get to that, let's watch a little bit of this interview and listen to Bibi Netanyahu sucking Trump's dick slavishly.
Seen like the White House and stuff? Like, how has it evolved over the years, over the times of you visiting it?
I've met quite a few of the American presidents because I've been in office pretty long time. Not because we don't have elections, but because I've won quite a few of them. Okay.
So I mean that to me is a very weird thing to say. Like when you need to say it's not because we don't have elections, it's because you are trying to compensate for the fact that you are a fascist and he is trying to remain in power. So for those who don't know, Bibi Netanyahu was being investigated for corruption charges before October 7th, 2023 happened. So he was being investigated and he was trying to overhaul the judiciary. He was basically trying to take control of the Israeli courts to make him immune to prosecution. This is a very corrupt man. This guy allowed October 7th to happen so that he could remain in power. Because whenever war is going on, you don't change leadership. This is kind of a well known thing. So, leaders, political leaders, are incentivized to actually fabricate war in order to evade prosecution or to distract away from the corruption charges and things like that. They will actually start war and kill people, including their own people, which is what Bibi Netanyahu did on October 7th. They knew Mossad, the same Mossad guys who did the pager attacks and planted pagers and then blew them up, killing children. These guys supposedly didn't know about October 7th. And then everyone just said it was a big intelligence failure. No, they knew. They just allowed it to happen because Bibi Netanyahu wanted it to happen so that it was a false flag, so he could remain in power. That's it. So so here he is talking about how yeah, it's not like we don't have elections. No, dude, you're corrupt. You're a fascist. You've been in power much longer than you were supposed to. And you fabricated war in order to remain in power. And that's the reason why he wants to go to war with Iran and why he did go to war with Iran. And then Iran beat his ass, beat Israel's ass to the ground. And then they were begging Trump for a ceasefire because they messed with someone who could actually fight back. And now they want to go to war with Iran again because they didn't learn the first time. Because he just wants to remain in power. Once war ends, he's getting arrested. And I'm not even talking about the ICC arrest warrant against him. I'm talking about he's going to be arrested by his own people. That's how corrupt this big-eared freak is.
I think there's never been a friend like Donald Trump in the White House for Israel. I think he's a remarkable leader. I think he's changing history. He said he'll make America great again. He's already done it.
He's already done it. He's already done it. You know, listen to his fucking accent. This guy grew up in America. He's originally from Poland. He's not from the Middle East. You can tell from his white skin and his big, ugly, disgusting ears. He's from Europe. He's from Poland. His real name is Milkowski. You see, this is his photograph from the IDF. It looks like a mugshot, honestly, when he was younger. The dude was from Poland. His real name is Milkowski, this big-eared freak. He's not from the Middle East. He's white. Like he's not even an Ashkenazi. He's one of these Slavic Eastern European Jews. One of these fake Jews. And I say fake because he doesn't believe in Yahweh. He's an atheist.
You know, America is widely admired now around the world, and especially after our joint
And Israel is not. First of all, America doesn't have the greatest reputation, especially for its support for the genocidal state of Israel, or I should call it the world's only Jewish state that is genocidal and is raping and killing kids in Gaza. The world hates Israel with a passion now, and it's because of October 7th. And this guy allowed it to happen. This traitor to his own people, not even to anyone else, to his own Jewish people, which is fucking ironic.
operation against this regime that wanted to, chance death to America, death to
And no, first of all, who cares if they say death to Israel? Who's about to say death to Israel? Who cares? Who cares? Okay, we're Americans. We don't give a damn. Second of all, get over it. Okay, it's called freedom of speech, you idiot. These Jews in Israel chant death to Arabs, death to Muslims on a daily basis. Okay, get over it, you thin-skinned dweeb.
Israel. Well, I think together we've shown the world a different face of America. Very powerful, very directed, uh, very resolute.
You guys are very tight, right? Would you call it a bromance?
Well, you might. I mean, we've known each
Like what kind of fluff interview is this? This is such garbage. Listening to these neck boys. I have no idea how to pronounce their names. I don't give a shit. Nelk boys? Neck boys? Such a fluff interview. And they went into this completely unprepared, and they admitted it with the interview with Bassem Youssef. And Bassem Youssef, uh, kicked their asses as they deserved. I would have kicked their asses even harder, though.
other several decades, and I really like him.
What do you like most about him?
I really like him. Total bullshit. Porn acting is better than this. This guy is lying out of his Jewish butthole. He hates Donald Trump. He hates him with a passion. Like I said, Donald Trump shared a video on Truth Social of Jeffrey Sachs, who has been doing hard work exposing the genocidal Israeli regime for what it really is. He called Bibi Netanyahu a son of a bitch. And this happened around the time of when the first temporary ceasefire happened, because Trump wanted to coerce Bibi into getting a ceasefire to get hostages released, which at least happened to Trump's credit. You can criticize Trump for a million things, but to Trump's credit, at least he was able to get a temporary ceasefire and exchange of hostages on both sides. So Bibi is sucking Trump's dick so hard. You want to hear him suck his dick a little bit harder before I actually explain what's really going on here? Let's listen.
If you meet him close up, and Sarah and I have had this opportunity many times, including last night in a great dinner we had at the White House. First of all, Donald Trump can be very funny.
Of course.
He can be very funny. He can
Especially.
Okay, I had enough. All right, so the real reason why Bibi, the big-eared freak, is, praising, heaping praise and talking about how funny Donald Trump is, even though Donald Trump hates Bibi and shared that video calling him a son of a bitch. The reason why Bibi needs to suck Trump's dick is because he knows that if he badmouths Trump, then the MAGAs will hate him even more. Now, the MAGAs already hate Israel, and they already hate Bibi, but it will become much more, but it'll become even worse, because I think a lot of the MAGAs don't fully understand who Bibi even is. They have a poor understanding of Middle Eastern politics and Israel and Bibi and all this other stuff. But what they do understand is when you insult someone. If you insult Donald Trump, they're going to understand that and they're going to hate you. So once Bibi loses the MAGAs, then all of America is united in hating Israel and hating him. And then that's when it's all over for him. Because the only thing that's keeping him alive, keeping Bibi Netanyahu alive, is American support for him. There, like I said before, the ICC issued an arrest warrant for Bibi Netanyahu for crimes against humanity, as well as other people in his administration. So it's not looking good for Bibi. And the only thing that's keeping him alive is the United States of America. And once that support dries up, then he's going to dry up. Those big ears are not going to, he's not going to be able to fly like Dumbo to Antarctica and escape criminal prosecution. He's going to be, his ass is going to be thrown in prison, either in an Israeli prison or whoever, wherever. He's not going to have too many places to run to, right? Because if his own country's after him and the ICC is after him and America is no longer protecting him, where is he going to run to? Cyprus? So, it's his, he's scared. He's running scared, and that's the reason why he's so desperate to start war with Iran and why he's so desperate to heap praise onto Donald Trump. Because if the MAGAs hate Bibi, then there's bipartisan support against Bibi. And because who else likes Bibi? Who else likes Bibi? The Democrats, yeah, sure, they'll virtue signal and suck Israel's dick, but you also get Democratic leadership that criticizes Bibi, and the liberals on the left. I criticize the liberals a lot, but they don't like Bibi. They hate Bibi. It's really once the conservatives, once the MAGAs really hate Bibi, and they do, but once it gets even worse, then it's over. So hopefully that kind of elucidates, kind of explains why Bibi is so, hardcore in licking Donald Trump's butthole. So we're going to analyze more stuff from this interview and from the Bassem Youssef interview later on, but hopefully that provides some explanation to Bibi's lies.